Welcome back to Normal Baseball. The World Baseball Classic is officially underway. Let's tell you about all the teams and who we think we're going to win. Let's get into it. What's going on? Welcome back to Normal Baseball. I'm Alex Normal Dog. That's Lewis. And today we are going to be talking about the World Baseball Classic.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are a little bit late, I will admit. The World Baseball Classic currently has officially started. Cuba and Netherlands have kicked it off. It is currently 11:17 p.m. Eastern Time in the United States. But Cuba and Netherlands are playing in, I believe, Japan.
That's
Um,
pretty cool.
so they've already started. Yoenis Cespedes is up in the first inning with runners on first and second, one out. So I'm expecting a three-run homer from Yoenis Cespedes right now.
True, true.
But yeah, before most of the pool games start, and of course before the bracket actually starts, which is on March 15th, we are going to be talking about the World Baseball Classic, telling you about the teams, what to look forward to, what to expect, and who we think is going to win the entire thing. The World Baseball Classic hasn't happened since 2017, a lot because of the pandemic. It was supposed to happen in 2021, so this is 6 years in the making.
Yep.
The last team to win it was the United States of America. They beat Puerto Rico in the finals of the 2017 World Baseball Classic. And I'm so excited for this because this is players play with so much heart in this thing because they're playing for their home country.
Yeah, well,
So
representing your home country is probably something that even fewer players get to say that they did. So doing it on such a stage where it's before the baseball season in the MLB actually kicks off, it's really all eyes on them. It's like the brightest lights, the biggest moments, and they're not representing a team; they're representing their country, and it must be a big deal to them. And I can imagine that it would be.
yeah, I mean, thinking about it, it makes sense about why they would want to be playing this with this level of intensity and importance. So yeah, do
Yeah,
we want to? We're going to get into the previews, of course. I would like to announce now that Cuba has the bases loaded with one out. Um, don't quite know who's up, but that's fine. But yeah, so we should kick it off with the team that a couple teams that are the first time qualifiers for the World Baseball Classic. We'll start with first time qualifiers, Great Britain. England, as many people would rather refer to them as.
England.
Um, this team not expected to do much whatsoever. The only current um, MLB representation they have is Trace Thompson, who is a outfielder for the Dodgers. Besides that, no real MLB representation, except for maybe Alex Webb. So, no, I don't even think so.
Hmm.
But this team, I don't expect to be doing much. I obviously can't speak on too many of the players. I mean, Anthony Seymour is a Atlantic League legend, so I do know him from the Atlantic League. But besides that, I really don't know anyone. Harry Ford sounds like a name that is sounds familiar to me. Um, I should probably look it up, but yeah. What do you think about the Great Britain team, Lewis?
I mean, let's just be real. Like Alex mentioned, not too many players that we do know that we are familiar with being guys who live in the United States, who are covering 90% of the time strictly the Major League Baseball level of baseball. I will admit, though, it is cool to see that a team is a first time qualifier in this tournament because that means that baseball's on the rise in other places. And I feel like if there were any sport that the British could incorporate into their lifestyle and make it a lot more exciting, it would be baseball. So
Yeah.
it looks pretty good, and I'm hoping that they go far enough that people in the United Kingdom, in Great Britain, decide that, hey, let's go out and buy some equipment and start trying to learn how to play baseball.
It's funny you should say that. The this team, um, 22 of their players were born in the United States. So a lot of it is based on descent. There was only five players on this team who were actually born in the UK and Great Britain. Um, so I think it's interesting. By the way, Harry Ford, I did know the name. He's Mariners, former Mariners prospect.
All
But
time,
hasn't. What?
all time Mariners prospect.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go that far, but yeah, he hasn't played since 21. It looks like 2021. So I don't know. Maybe he can prove himself in this tournament. A lot of people that are looking to prove themselves kind of try to carry their team to win. But yeah, Great Britain we can't say too much about because we don't know many of their players. I mean, I know Akil Morris too, Long Island Ducks pitcher last season. I watched him pitch from the field, sitting in my little bat boy chair a lot. So Akil Morris, I'm rooting for him,
It's pretty cool.
um, and I'll be rooting for Anthony Seymour because again, Atlantic League.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be rooting for baseball.
Okay. So you're not really rooting for many people on Great Britain.
Only because I'm not too familiar with them, but I will say that if they do go far, I think it's a good sign.
Fair. Okay. Moving on. We're going to try to go quickly through some of these teams because, like we said, we don't know too much about them. Team Nicaragua. Team Nicaragua is also a first-time qualifier for the World Baseball Classic. Not too many, not too many MLB names on this roster. The most notable being Jonathan Loizaga, who is their closer and is obviously New York Yankees reliever. Pretty big name too. He's a very good reliever. But besides that, there's really no other guys that are in MLB currently. None that I recognize, at least.
Uh,
Alex Blandino is a name that I know. Can't quite put my name on why I know it. Um, that I'll look up.
he knows the name
Uh,
Alex. I wonder why.
no, that's not why.
I know.
Was this guy on the Reds? I think this guy was on the Reds. Yes, in. He's currently nowhere, I believe.
Damn.
Uh, you know how I know this guy? He
How?
was Zach Campbell caught his first home run, and I feel like I watched that video. I
No,
can almost guarantee it.
what a weird thing to know.
Hey, that's the only reason I know the name Alex Blandino. I'm gonna fact check that. I'm 98% sure that I'm almost 100% sure that that's where I know the name Alex Blandino from. And if that's true, I'm kind of impressed. And props to Zach Campbell for making me remember that random name.
Yeah, well, I mean, good for him. He's going to be on the team. Like Alex mentioned, Jonathan Loizaga is their notable guy. Will be the closer for them. So if Nicaragua does have a 1 or 2 run lead going into the ninth inning, I'm might be putting some good luck into fellow New Yorker Jonathan Loizaga in closing out the door, shutting the door. I don't know why I said closing out the door, but shutting the door.
I'll be honest. I don't think they'll have a lead going into the ninth inning.
Hey, you
I
don't
could
know.
be wrong.
They made the qualifiers. There's it's baseball. Anything can happen.
No, you're right. You're right. But I don't know. I don't see it happening. I don't know what pool are they in. Do you have the
Nicaragua,
pools?
yes, I do have the pools. Nicaragua is in. By the way, I'm on my phone. I'm not just looking straight
Yeah,
down.
gotcha.
Nicaragua is in Pool D, which has the Dominican Republic, Israel,
Oh,
Nicaragua, Puerto Rico, Venezuela.
Yeah, they are
I think their
not
tournament's over.
Yeah, they're goodbye. So that's Nicaragua. Like we said, a lot of these bottom teams that we're talking about right now, we don't know too much about. So
True.
you know, should we move to a top team just to kind of switch it up? Talk about something a little more interesting.
If you want, or we can continue to go in order. Just tick off the things so
No,
everyone feels
no. Let's
included.
Well, yeah, but let's go to a top. Let's mix it up a little bit. Top and then bottom, middle. We'll talk about one of the bigger teams right now.
All right.
Let's head over to team. Where should we go? Let's go Team Mexico. A not too big team, but you're gonna know a lot of names on here. A lot of MLB representation. They have never placed above sixth in the World Baseball Classic, and just in 2017, the last World Baseball Classic, they placed 13th. Their captain is Julio Urias, Los Angeles Dodgers starting pitcher. And their starting lineup, I can actually read this whole thing because we're going to know all these names. Their lineup is looking like Randy Arozarena in left field, Alex Verdugo in right field, Joey Meneses at first base, Rowdy Tellez DHing, Isaac Paredes at third base, Luis Urias at second base, Alan Trejo at short, Austin Barnes catching, and Alec Thomas in center field. Their rotation is Julio Urias, Patrick Sandoval, Taijuan Walker, and Jose Urquidy. Their bullpen has guys by the names of Luis Cessa, Giovanni Gallegos, Jojo Romero,
Jose Urquidy.
I believe Jose Urquidy. Yeah, those are pretty much all the names.
And Taijuan Walker.
Names. I said Taijuan Walker.
Oh, you did?
The rotation.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, he is in their rotation. But yeah, no, this is a not bad looking team whatsoever.
Yeah, I like this team. Weirdly enough, I feel like just the infield looks very good if they had obviously like a high end shortstop. But I'm not going to fault on what's his name, Alan. How do you say
Alan
it?
Trejo.
Trejo. I'm not going to fault on him. However, if they did have a high end top tier shortstop, I mean, this team would be much more of a threat. I feel like.
I mean, Alan Trejo, I don't think he's I wouldn't say.
No, he's not like a Joe Random. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying, like, imagine if instead of that they had, I don't even know who would qualify.
I mean, he's 26 years old. He's a Rocky shortstop. He played in 125. He played in only 35 games, rather 125 plate appearances. Batted 271. I don't know. Give him a chance. Let him play. Let him prove himself.
Yeah,
See what he did in the minors last season. 67 games. He batted 296. So I wouldn't just blow it past him. I would say give him a shot, and I think this team could be really good. Better than people think, I would say.
Yeah, I hope so, especially they're in Pool C with the United States, Great Britain, Colombia, and Canada. So they do have the chance to make some genuine noise as long as they don't run into the big boys of the United States of America. And, maybe they could make the bracket towards the end of the tournament.
Yeah, you never know. I think they are one of the better teams in that pool. There are a lot of good teams as well. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out for them. That's my only concern. But you never know. I mean, these guys can. If you think about it, if this was an MLB team, they would win games. So we'll see what happens there. Especially a lot depends on how the guys on the mound perform. If Julio Urias gives up no runs in 8 innings, they have the bullpen to give up no runs in the next inning, the next 2 innings if he can only go 7. So I'm excited to see this team.
Yeah, and the rest of the rotation, not including Julio Urias, has the ability to withhold offenses from really getting going, and definitely they all have put away stuff in some form. So it's going to be interesting to see how this team clashes with other teams that, like the United States, in pool play. It's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like it. I like this team a good bit. Moving on. Let's go to team. Let's go to China. So
China.
Team China. I will be honest. I don't know too many people. because I'm just not familiar. Um, that's really all I have to say. I'm just really not familiar with anyone. They the history of the World Baseball Classic has not been good. The highest they've ever come in was 11th, and that was in 2009. Since then, 13th and 16th, so nothing crazy. I think we can kind of just go past it. I do want to mention that China has an amazing hat and has amazing uniforms,
Yeah,
so
they're
that
fire
I can respect. That I can respect from them. I really like them.
for sure.
But yeah, that's really all I have to say about
I
China.
wonder if we're going to be watching any of these guys, especially because when we talk about baseball players who play in Asia and overseas in general, there's always that one guy. Like in the 2017 World Baseball Classic, we saw Kodai Senga pitch in Dodger Stadium and absolutely shut down. I believe it was Team USA's offense in like the semifinals or something from Japan, and with how I look at all these teams is, and I'm going to say this now, so I don't need to keep repeating it. I'm going to be watching because there's a chance that in 3 years we're talking about the starting pitcher that threw 9 or 7 no hit innings against the Dominican Republic is now becoming a free agent. He's
Yeah, I
getting
mean,
bought out. There's a chance.
yeah, I'm not gonna be like not watching this team just because I don't know guys. Don't get me wrong. I just
No,
can't.
no, no. I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying I can't speak on how good they are. Like you said, they could wind up to be the next, Kodai Senga, the next
Shohei
Shohei
Otani,
Ohtani, even the next Masataka
Darvish.
Yoshida, just anything like that. It's just I can't speak on them right now because I don't know how they play. And yeah,
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
so that's China. Moving on, we can talk about another one. We could talk about Taiwan, otherwise known as the Chinese Taipei. I apologize if I'm saying that wrong. Another kind of group that I really don't know that many people. I mean, I know Yu Chang. Um, he's in the majors, but other than that, I can't say I really know anyone. How about you? Do you know anyone?
No, I do not know anyone. Excuse my yawn, by the way. It's now 11:34. I do not know anyone here, but again, same rules apply. I'm going to be watching. It's baseball. It's high leverage baseball, and it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, like I said, the only guy I do know is Yu Chang, and he's been in MLB since 2019. Last season he was on 4 different teams, if I'm counting that correctly. I believe I am. Did not play great. 208 batting average in 69 games. Nice. But yeah, no. Again, another team that I would love to speak on if I knew more of these names. But unfortunately, I don't. But like you said, I will be watching them a little bit.
Yeah, I believe in him. I believe in him. Let's see.
Oh,
Let's see them raise the championship trophy.
yeah. In other news, past World Baseball Classics, they have not performed great. 12th, 14th, 8th, and then 14th again. So the highest they've gotten was 8th. And in the last World Baseball Classic, they placed 14th. So I'm not really expecting much from this team. I don't think they'll make it past the pool
Yeah.
rounds.
Yep. I got you. That makes sense. But let's show Taiwan, or how do you say it? Chinese Taipei,
Yeah, I believe that's how you say it. We apologize if we're not saying it 100% right.
or if we're prioritizing one name over the other. Just not 100% sure. They're going by two different names.
Yep. Let's get to let's get to a fun one. Let's talk about, I want to talk about Italy.
Okay.
Um, Italy it's like one of those teams that it's got some names that you know, and you look at them and you're like, that could be an interesting team. So Italy, the guys you may know. I'll read the whole lineup, but there are some guys in here that you are probably gonna know. Sal Fred Sal Frelick, is playing left field. David Fletcher at shortstop. Vinny Pasquantino, the Italian, at first base. Miles Mastrobuoni, at second base. Nicky Lopez at third. Dominic Fletcher in center field. Ben DeLuzio at right field. Robel Garcia, DHing, and Brett Sullivan playing whatever position I didn't say, catcher. The rotation, the only guy we would know in the rotation is Matt Harvey, who could be making a case for an MLB team in this World Baseball Classic. So I am kind of excited to watch Matt Harvey pitch again. Well, he's sneezing.
Oh my god, excuse me. But this team looks pretty cool. I'm a fan of Matt Harvey coming back, making a case for coming back to MLB, so that'll be interesting. I do also want to mention this team is managed by none other than Mike Piazza, Hall of Famer, all-time catching great, Italian to the fucking bone. Really excited to watch this team because I feel like with the amount of MLB talent that they have, or MLB level talent, because if you want to include Matt Harvey in that, between that and being managed by Mike Piazza, who is one of the greatest catchers of all time, we're talking about a team that genuinely could, like, have an upset. Could definitely, shock the world, win a game that they're not projected to win or, counted out on, late game comeback. Mike Piazza has the ability when he was a player to definitely be a high leverage guy, great player all around. And if he can communicate that into the players, then we're talking about some seriously good baseball to be played.
Pool are they in? Who are they in a pool with?
Italy is in Pool A. They're in with Cuba, the Netherlands, Panama, and Taiwan, or, as we said earlier, how did you say the other one?
The Chinese Taipei. I believe. Oh. Yeah, I mean, just because I would say the only reason they have a chance to win games is because of the pool that they're in. They got lucky with a weak pool, but this team has
when you get into the bracket, every team is 0-0, baby. Anything can happen.
I can guarantee you, this team will not beat Team USA or a lot of the other teams.
So, you don't think Vinny Pasquantino is going to drag a team to a win?
No, I do not. Good thing he's yeah, no, I just don't. The highest this team is placed is 7th. They will not be placing higher than that this year. I can almost bet.
Are you sure? You think that they finish below 7th?
There are 7 better teams than them. Yes.
So okay. Would you be willing
I'm counting 6? I'm counting 6 right now, just right in front of me.
Okay, so would you be willing to make a wager?
Yeah, sure. $5 says that they don't make it past 7.
Well, that they finish below 7. The tournament ends and they're below 7th place.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. Shake on it. There we go. So
perfect.
They're gonna finish below 7. In my opinion, I mean, I like some of these guys. I love Vinny Pasquantino. Don't get me wrong. I love him just as much as the next guy, but just personally, I don't see it happening.
Well, we'll have to wait and see then.
We will have to wait and see. So that's Team Italy. Let's go into one of the. Let's do both teams that are playing right now. It's currently 0-0 in the first World Baseball Classic game. Luis, is that Luis Robert? Maybe not. It's not. But it's 0-0, and it's Cuba and the Netherlands. So Cuba has been in this tournament every single time it's happened. The highest they placed was 2nd, and that was in the first ever one. Since then, not much luck. 5th, 6th, and 7th they've placed. But this team does have some names that people will be familiar with. Yohan Moncada is manning 3rd for them. Luis Robert, or Robert, however you'd like to say it, is in center for them. Andy Ibanez is at 2nd. And then as far as pitching goes, there's really not many MLB names in here. That's really all this team has currently is Luis Robert, Robert. Oh, did I even mention Yoenis Cespedes?
You did not. I was actually waiting to pounce on that one.
Yeah, Yoenis Cespedes. We haven't seen him play in MLB in a while. It's been a few years, couple of years. So we're watching him play in this tournament, and it's kind of refreshing. I just saw Yoenis Cespedes come to the plate like when we started this episode, and I was like, wow, like he exists.
Yeah, he's
now,
out there.
now we know he still exists,
Yeah,
which is great to know. Good for him.
thank God.
Do you have anything? Do you have anything about this team?
No,
I like
I,
the jerseys.
I love their jerseys. I'm just more excited to watch Yoenis Cespedes in a lineup with Yohan Moncada and Luis Robert because I feel like, or Robert, I feel like all three of those players could function like perfectly, like synergize. They could synergize perfectly together. Like you have Yohan Moncada who can rope a double. You have Luis Robert who can put runners second and third. What?
I would just like to announce that this team has officially just scored the first run of the World Baseball Classic.
Nice.
It is currently 1-0 Cuba. So they did score the first run of the World Baseball Classic, if that means anything to you. But yeah, so go on, like you were saying, as you were saying.
I just feel like Yohan Moncada, Luis Robert, and Yoenis Cespedes in a lineup together just synergizes really well. Really, like it makes so much sense. You have a contact guy, you have a contact speed, like five tool power guy in the middle in Luis Robert, and then you have the guy who can clear the bases in one swing in Yoenis Cespedes. At least the last we saw of him, that's how I remember seeing him.
Yeah, I mean maybe I personally I don't think this team's gonna do that well. Do I think they'll make it to the bracket? I would say probably.
Be pretty cool.
I think they probably will. I just don't think they'll wind up winning it,
I
which
gotcha.
I think is very fair for this team, considering what we're going to talk about with some of the bigger teams. I think that's fair to say. I do want to say that the next team we're going to do, we are legitimately just rolling past, and that is Czechia, the Czech Republic. Um, they are a team in this tournament. Moving on. Um, from what I've heard, I think Czechia, they're just like a bunch of dudes. Like none of them are like professional baseball players. From what I've heard, don't take my word to heart, but that's kind of what I gathered from a couple
It
of things on the internet.
it's also from what it looks like. So I'm not gonna fault them if they don't make it too far. But hey, let's go baseball.
Let's go baseball. I
A
agree.
forever expanding sport in the world.
So Czechia, that's them. Let's get to a fun team. Let's hit a little bit of Colombia. How about it? Colombia, this is their second time qualifying for the World Baseball Classic. In 2017, they placed 11th, and this team has a couple names. You might know Oscar Mercado, who will be in left field for them. Harold Ramirez will be in right field for them. Gio Urshela, the Geo, one of the best defensive third basemen in MLB right now. Um, and who else? We got Jorge Alfaro at catcher is kind of electric, if I'm being honest.
Oh yeah,
Jorge Alfaro is one of the most fun guys to watch when he's got it, you know,
for
and
sure.
especially like when he's playing for his home country. We all saw like how in the Winter League he would hit a home run and stare at it for 30 seconds. Like he's just going to be playing with that energy, and that's what I like watching. I love watching that.
Oh yeah, I'm so looking forward to like the couple of pimped home runs that Jorge Alfaro is gonna have. Gio Urshela, like you mentioned, absolute wizard at third base. He'll be fun to watch. Oscar Mercado, good left fielder, hoping that this kicks off a good year for him. And that's all
I
that
would
I can
like to
really
say,
get to.
one of their players, Jordan Diaz, is he was a rookie last season. He played 15 games for the Athletics, but batted 265. He's been in the minors for a while, but in AAA, in 120 games between AA and AAA last season, he batted 326. So he's a guy that I'll definitely be watching. He's going to be their DH, Jordan Diaz. So keep that in mind when you're watching Team Columbia.
Yeah,
I just did want to throw that out.
that's
As far as their
pretty
pitching
cool.
staff goes, there's really no one. Tehran. Um, who else do we have? That's really all I have on my radar personally. Do you have anything else to say about Colombia?
Yeah, no, I'm not too familiar with their pitching, but I am excited. Again, I can only say it so many times. I'm just excited to watch them play. I'm excited to have real, meaningful, passionate, full 100% trying baseball again.
Fair. Me too. And that's what I'm watching right now. And like you feel like these guys want to win, which they do.
Yeah.
It's all about that trophy.
Well, we just passed the 30-minute mark. How do you feel about talking about really the heavy hitters of this tournament?
Yeah, let me just roll through a couple right now. Let me cook really quick. So Australia, you're really not going to know anyone on this team, but it is their fifth time making the tournament. Somehow they make it every year. Um,
The Lamb Down
that's
Under.
that's Australia. Then we have Korea, who is another team that I really can't speak too much about, other than the fact that Tommy Edman is playing for them. So obviously, I am
Let's go.
um,
Let's go, Tommy.
familiar with Tommy Edman. Definitely rooting for him to do good. That's Korea. Another team that I am not too familiar with
Wait,
is
time. I love the idea of thinking that Tommy Edman is completely fluent in Korean.
okay.
We can move on
Gotcha.
now.
Panama hasn't made the World Baseball Classic since 2009. They're back in it now. They're led by Captain Ruben Tejada, and a couple pitchers that you might know, Jaime Barria, and Javi Guerrera. Um, that's about it. That's
and
Panama.
and Mo said that be careful that Mo might go pitch for Panama, Mariano Rivera. So that would be pretty fun.
He's not.
You don't
So
know. You don't know that for sure. You don't know that for sure. It would be pretty
yeah,
cool.
I do know that for sure. Netherlands is a team that seems to be a little bit maybe underrated. In the last two World Baseball Classics, they've come in fourth, which means they've made it to the quarterfinals in each of the last two World Baseball Classics. This year, their lineup is looking like Jurickson Profar, Didi Gregorius, Xander Bogaerts, Jonathan Scope,
Andrelton
um,
Simmons.
Andrelton Simmons, Chadwick Thromp, Josh Palacios, Vladimir with a W, not a V. I don't really know too many of their pitchers. They have Kenley Jansen, who I don't think he's playing.
Not
I
today.
think
No, well, not in the first
no,
game.
no, no. I think he might have dropped out. I'm not 100% sure. Um, but yeah, so
And Pedro
Netherlands,
Strop. Watch out for Pedro Strop, Astros
he
guy.
also he also might have dropped out.
Did he? Damn,
Uh,
that
I'm
stinks.
not 100% sure, but still, this team could be a little bit of a sleeper if they play like they did the last 2 years. Do I think they will? I want to say yes, but it's hard when I don't really know what their pitching is. I don't really know too many of their pitchers. I don't know any of them besides the two that I mentioned, but they might have both dropped out, so I'm not 100% sure. Even if they didn't, I still don't think like I can confidently say this team would beat like Japan, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, USA. Like that'd be hard for me to say currently.
Yeah,
But
arguably one of the coolest looking jerseys in the tournament, though. The orange with the black hat, I think is bar none. It's a beautiful looking combo.
yeah, they do have a very good looking hat. So moving right along, this is one I wanted to get to. Team Israel, which is a team that this is their second year making the tournament, but their first year in 2017 they came in sixth. Um, this season they do have a couple names that you guys listening might know: Jock Peterson, Giants outfielder Alex Dickerson, Dean Kramer, Orioles pitcher, Garrett Stubbs, who is Phillies catcher. Um, that's really all the names you would know. Richard Blyer is their closer. We love Richard Blyer. We're big fans of Richard
Let's
Blyer.
go, Richard
Um,
Blyer.
Alex Katz is on this team too, who is a Atlantic League legend,
All
dare I
time
say.
legend.
But yeah, I don't know. They have Danny Valencia at third, which is he was also a former Duck for like a month, so I do have my biases.
Of
But yeah,
course.
so I'm interested to see what they can do. Their record in the World Baseball Classic is 4-2 in their first year. They only lost 2 games, so excited to see if they can kind of feed off that energy and just play good. Do I
Yeah,
think they will? Do they think they have a chance to win it? Personally, I don't think so. I'm gonna go with no.
we'll find
Yes, you
out.
can do that. You can do this to every single one you want. Oh, yeah, oh, 0-0. But like, come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Come on. If someone were to walk up to you and be like, "Does Team Israel have a shot to win the World Baseball Classic?" What would you say?
We'll see. There's a chance.
Oh my god, I like their hats. I'm a big fan of their hats and
Yeah.
their jerseys. Just fun.
All the
I,
jerseys are absolute hits. The jerseys and the hats, I mean, they all look great.
I I don't know if I'd say all, but most of them, yeah, I would agree. Um, okay, now we're gonna go through one more, and then we're in the top the consensus kind of top five teams, or at least for me. Um, this team, the first one that I want to do is just before we get to that is Team Canada. Obviously, this is their um, fifth time in the World Baseball Classic. They've made it every time. Um, they have progressively gotten worse in this tournament. I will say. 2006 they were ninth. 2009 they were 13th. 2013 they were 12th, and 2017 they were 15th. Lewis, do you want to read anyone from this lineup? Do you want to let us know, or do you want me to read it?
I mean, obviously, we have Abraham Toro, Freddie Freeman, Tyler O'Neill. That's their 2-3-4, which honestly could compete with any 2-3-4 in the tournament, except for maybe one or two. They do have Bo Naylor, which is interesting. Otto Lopez is a name. And pitching, they have Cal Quantrill, who Guardians, like, I mean, watch this guy, Guardians fans, because he is absolutely amazing. And even if you're not a Guardians fan, watch him. He's great to watch. And their closer is Matt Barsh? Brash? Brash? Matt
Brash,
Brash? Matt Brash.
yeah, Matt Brash.
Yep. So,
Yeah,
looks cool. Looks cool.
this is another team that's like, yes, you're right. Toro, Freeman, O'Neill. I don't know if I could say they are up there with the best. I don't know if I could say there's only two or three teams that have a better 2-3-4 than that. There's definitely probably more than that, but it's not a bad team. It's certainly not the worst we've seen. I think Freddie Freeman definitely. Without Freddie Freeman, this team is kind of one of those teams that's like a little. I don't want to say pushover, but it's almost like
They're pushover if they don't have Freddie Freeman.
yeah, especially based on like star power.
Yeah,
There's not real star power on this team besides Tyler O'Neill, Cal Quantrill are two like guys who could be all stars. Besides that, you don't really have much. Don't think they're going to do too much, but I did. We obviously have to talk about them, and they have some nice hats too.
of course, of course. All
So
right,
we want to let's get into the top five teams here.
go ahead, kick us off.
So this is in no particular order. The first team I do want to talk about, just because this is the team that we will know the least about. However, they definitely are within this top five. Like it is guaranteed. Is Team Japan. Obviously, some of these we know some of these guys, but at the same time, we also don't know some of these guys. Headline Team Japan is headlined by Shohei Otani, the obviously two-way player, amazing, can do it all, can throw an amazing splitter, and then hit a ball 450 feet. They've won this tournament twice. One in 2006, one in 2009. And then the last two tournaments, 2013 and 2017, they've come in third. So they are no stranger to doing very well in the World Baseball Classic. In addition to Shohei Otani, they have Lars Nootbaar, Masataka Yoshida, who Masataka Yoshida is now a Red Sox. We have yet to see him play in MLB, obviously, in the regular season, that is. I'm excited. They also have Yu Darvish, which should be mentioned. But besides that, we don't currently know the names. But like Lewis said, especially with Team Japan, one day we will more than likely know these names. Um, We will definitely know some of them. I know there's one of their starting pitchers. I don't want to say which one just because I'm not 100% sure which one is going to come over to MLB in the next couple of years, and that should be exciting. So this is a team that I'm certainly going to be watching all the time just because of the fact that I feel like these guys definitely have a very good chance of coming over to MLB at some point in their career, if not already.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. It'll be fun to watch them, and of course, you do have the unicorn, the one of one player, Shohei Otani on this team, so that obviously boosts their rating by an absolute ton. Shohei Otani can literally win you a game entirely on his own. He could pitch 9 no-hit innings and also go out there and hit 2 home runs if he absolutely needed to. And between him and Lars Nootbaar, there's no stopping this team.
Lars Nootbaar, he is the most random, feels like random addition to this team.
Hey, but let it be known, he picked the celebration for the team, the grind and the pepper.
There you
Electric
go.
celebration. Electric celebration.
I don't know. I don't know how electric that is, but I got you. I get what you're saying.
You put a little bit of salt in
How,
the wounds, a little bit of pepper over there too.
yeah. I can think of a couple more electrical. I feel like if someone hits an RBI double, big RBI double, this isn't gonna kind of. That's
Oh,
not gonna.
dude.
That's
You
not gonna
haven't
get the.
seen it yet. But you haven't seen it yet. I was watching their exhibition games. Woo! Was it
This
amazing?
doesn't. This doesn't seem like it unless it's the same peer as it was like like one of those. But anyway, I believe you. Lars Nootbaar, there was a video of him which was very, very funny. It was a video of him. They were sitting in a huddle, like right in Japan's dugout, and Lars Nootbaar is standing there, obviously in the circle, and their manager is talking and does this whole speech to the team, and the camera pans out and goes to Lars Nootbaar, and he's like, "Can someone tell me anything he just said?" Lars Nootbaar does not speak Japanese. He's I'm sure the communication barrier is very difficult for him. So Lars Nootbaar, I respect you very much for being on Team Japan, and I hope you play really well in this tournament. I think Team Japan is going to be one of the top teams
Dude, it would be
by the
so
end of this.
cool if Lars Nootbaar came out of this speaking fluent Japanese. Again, another one of the guys who I feel like he's such a fun character on his own, and now he's thrown into this situation where it's almost going to be like awkward funny, like Larry David type of like dry comedy at all times because no one understands what he's saying. That it's just going to be great. All the content both on and off the field from Lars Nootbaar is what I absolutely need right now.
I feel like it's either, like you said, the dry comedy, or he just does not say a word.
Word. Which is almost funny within
And
itself. Him just like, oh yeah, we won. Okay, quietly back to the locker room, quietly packs his
well,
bag and makes his
he's
way to the
gonna he's
hotel.
he's gonna celebrate. I just mean like in the locker room, he's not having conversations with dudes. Like there's he can't like yeah, like Shohei speaks some English. We know Yoshida's probably learning some.
He
Um,
has learned some English, which is pretty cool. He used someone in his press release, in his press conference, excuse me,
yeah,
with the Red Sox.
Dar Darvish definitely speaks English, but it's like I don't know. I really do respect Lars Nootbaar for being on this team with that language barrier.
Hey, you
And
gotta
and
represent your country.
this team, I will say, that apparently, according to the graphic I'm looking at, which will shout out whoever gave us these graphics at the end, but apparently widely considered one of the strongest Japan rosters ever, which is crazy because they've won it twice, and the other two times came in third. So if this is the strongest one ever, in theory, they would come in first,
Well,
right?
it's
In
I
theory.
feel I agree with you, but I feel like that opinion is strongly carried by the fact that they do have one of the greatest players in baseball history, Lars Nootbaar. I mean, sorry, Shohei Otani. That was a genuine accident. I apologize, but I feel like if they did not have Shohei Otani, we would be saying how this is yes another good Japanese roster, not the best of all time type of roster. You know?
Fair. Yeah, like you said, I still think it's an amazing Japanese roster regardless. But at the end of the day, they do have Shohei Ohtani, so we are
Yeah,
able to say that.
yeah,
But yeah, that's Japan. Do we want to do you want to move on again?
of course.
I feel like there's only one way to go here, and that's to Venezuela. Venezuela is this is their fifth time in the tournament, obviously. The last few times they came in seventh in 2006. They came in third in 2009. They came in 10th in 2013 and eighth in 2017. Their captain is Miguel Cabrera, who this is his final season in MLB. I don't think he's going to be like playing much. Like he's not actually going to be like playing. He's just kind of there as a kind of sentiment.
Cheerleader.
Um, yeah, cheerleader. But I'm not to say that in like a disrespectful way. But like just because there's definitely guys on this team who would give them a better chance of winning currently.
Right, and that's what
I think
matters.
exactly. I think this is one of the more underrated teams in this tournament. With all things given, I mean, Ronald Acuna Jr. Is going to be in center field. Jose Altuve is at second base. Luis Arias, the guy who just won the batting title, is at first. Andres Jimenez at shortstop, another guy who can bat 300, who just gets on base constantly. Eugenio Suarez, who had a really good power season last year. Salvador Perez, who can still swing the bat just as good as he ever has. Just 2 years ago, he hit 40-something home runs. David Peralta, who's always been a solid player. But I think Ronald Acuna Jr. and Jose Altuve are just kind of the two, star-studded players in this lineup. Obviously, Acuna has every single tool in the book, and Altuve is Short King, who can take any pitcher 450 feet whenever he wants. So,
Yeah, this lineup is.
oh,
Go ahead.
I forgot to mention Gleyber Torres is the agent for this team.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say that this lineup is stacked. The amount of MLB talent that they have is crazy, and usually when we say the words MLB talent and we're talking about a national team, we're talking, oh yeah, they have a couple starters, a couple guys who are on the bench, and a couple of guys who are knocking on the door to making the big leagues. These guys are all established big leaders, especially their, if they were to start playing right now, they would have Pablo Lopez on the mound, who is coming off of one of his better seasons, one of his best seasons. We're talking about Anthony Santander, who, I mean, another great underrated player who I feel like people will not take note of because they do have guys like Ronald Acuna Jr., Luis Arias, Jose Altuve, Andres Jimenez. All in all, this is one of the most well-centered, well-constructed rosters that
Right.
is so,
Yeah.
put together well.
Yeah, well-rounded.
Well-rounded. Yeah, that was the word that I was looking for. My apologies.
I do find it funny that on this Venezuela team, Pablo Lopez and Luis Arias are on the same team, which, if you recall, they were actually traded for each other earlier this offseason.
Yeah, pretty funny.
The Marlins traded the Marlins traded Pablo Lopez, the Twins, for Luis Arias. But now they're on the same team just for this tournament, obviously. But the WBC kind of brings players together just because of nationality, and I think those kind of connections are really fun, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Looking more at the pitching, their rotation: Martin Perez, who dog, Pablo Lopez, dog, Eduardo Rodriguez. I'm hoping he can be good. We really didn't see him pitch last year, so I'm excited to kind of see him pitch again, see what he can do. And Jesus Luzardo, a younger guy who has as much potential as anyone else, and he's proved that he can be a very good closer, very good starter. As far as their closer is Jose Alvarado, who is a kind of flame-throwing reliever, can definitely come in and shut the door. Julio Chacin, they have in their bullpen. Luis Garcia, they have. Jose Ruiz, Ranger Suarez, Andres Machado. They have some good talent, and like I said, I think this is one of the more underrated teams. Everyone's looking at Puerto Rico, DR, USA, Japan. I think this is going to be a team to watch out, and I think they're going to give a lot of teams a run for their money.
Oh yeah, for sure. This team will be exciting to watch. The roster construction is just so well balanced, so well rounded that it'll be fun. And let's hope that they make it as far as they can. Give Miggy one last ride.
One last ride for Miggy. I agree. He definitely deserves it. So, moving on. because after we finish the team, just previewing all the teams, letting you know who's on what team, we're going to say we're going to give our top four, who we think are going to be in our top four, the quarterfinals, then the semifinals, then the finals, and then the winner. Anyway, moving on. We're going to move to Puerto Rico for our next one. Puerto Rico this is their fifth year in the tournament. They've come in second in the last 2 years of the World Baseball Classic. Their captain is Francisco Lindor, Frankie Lindor, and this team is looking really good, like looking really really good. It's looking like Kike Hernandez in center field, Francisco Lindor, like I said, at shortstop, Javi Baez at second, MJ Melendez in right field, Eddie Rosario in left field, Emmanuel Rivera at third base, Nefalti Soto, if I'm saying that right, at first base, Christian Vasquez DHing, and Martin Maldonado catching. Vasquez and Maldonado, you can only assume, are going to be switching who's catching based on who's pitching.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think? What do you think of the team?
It's
a very good team.
It's pretty good. Pitchers, obviously, they have Jose Barrios, Marcus Stroman are the two notable guys in their starting rotation. And then if we want to talk about their bullpen, they have the Diaz brothers. Alexis and Edwin Diaz in the bullpen is nothing to be taken lightly. Two of the better closers, one being, I think, consensus the best closer in baseball as of right now in Edwin Diaz. So don't let this team get a lead, because I don't think that there's a good chance of you coming back against the Diaz brothers. And if I can imagine these guys making the roster for the national team for the WBC, they must be pretty good too.
I can't believe I went.
And Jorge Lopez.
Just because we're talking about Puerto Rico, I think I have to.
And what does that have to mean?
I got to put on the jersey.
The Roberto Clemente Puerto Rico jersey. Nice.
Okay. Yeah, you can't forget to mention that in that bullpen they also have Jorge Lopez and Emilio Pagan, two very quality relievers as well.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing this pitching staff more than anything else, because you get a good start from Jose Barrios and Marcus Stroman. You have four very good relievers who can come in and shut the door. And very well, we might see that towards the quarterfinals, semifinals, or the even just the first round. So I'm excited to see that. I'm excited.
This team will flex its muscles, and it'll let you know that they have some serious star power. Lindor, obviously, being the captain, I feel like he's just going to be the gem of this team, going to be the brightest shining star. So it'll be fun to watch. And like I said, don't let this team get a lead early, because they can slam the door on you.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Moving on, we might as well. The Dominican Republic, we'll talk about for our second to last team to preview. What a team. A couple people did drop out. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was on this team, dropped out.
Yep.
Who else was on this team and dropped out? Fernando Tatis was not allowed to play because of the PEDs, the suspension from last year. Was not allowed to play in this tournament. And I feel like Luis Severino.
Yes.
I don't think he was ever committed, but I think he just wound up not doing it. I think he never officially said he was playing, but he was talked about to be in their rotation a lot, but he was not.
Gotcha.
If we want to talk about who is on their team, this is what their lineup is looking like. Julio Rodriguez, the young Mariners stud in center field. Juan Soto in right field. Manny Machado at third base. Rafael Devers DHing. Teoscar Hernandez in left field. Wander Franco at second base, because Jeremy Pena is at shortstop. Jaime Candelario at first, taking over for Vladdy Jr., who dropped out because of a sudden injury in spring training. And Gary Sanchez behind the plate, a guy who is definitely MLB level.
Kind of shocked that he's not signed.
Yeah, but is not signed to a team. He's currently a free agent. So, what a lineup, by the way. They won this tournament in 2013. Last last time the World Baseball Classic happened, they came in fifth. So they're looking
Shout
for a
out
little
Adam
redemption.
Jones. Shout out Adam Jones for that.
Yeah.
I think
But
it's crazy to say that there is a team assembled in the World Baseball Classic that could very easily be worth over $1 billion. And between Julio's what could be $450 million plus contract, Juan Soto, who arguably one of the best players in baseball, could very easily match that contract, if not go over. And Teoscar Hernandez, who genuinely, I believe after this upcoming season hits the free agent market, could be talking about him getting a solid $150 million contract from whatever team needs a absolute dog of a power bat in his lineup. So that alone should scare a lot of teams. But I'm also looking forward to their infield of Manny Machado, Jeremy Pena, the ALCS MVP, the World Series MVP, and Wander Franco, kind of looking to have a comeback season. Just all in all, this team looks great. And let's not forget their captain, Robinson Cano, and their pitching staff is genuinely one to be worried about. It's just a bunch of guys who, especially off of last season, swing and miss guys. Sandy Alcantara, however the hell you want to say his name, he's better than your favorite pitcher, so it doesn't matter. Christian Javier, another just absolute swing and miss guy. And Johnny Cueto had a great resurgence here with the White Sox. What did you want to include?
I did want to mention that Sandy Alcantara did win the 2022 NL Cy Young unanimously.
Yeah.
I just wanted to mention that.
Better than your favorite pitcher, Sandy Alcantara. As for their bullpen, do you want to rattle off their bullpen a little bit? Talk about some of their guys.
I did want to say you forgot in their rotation.
Oh yeah, I did.
Rusney Contreras.
Yeah.
Who, if I can find his thing, is yes, he is a Pirate. He was a Pirate. Last season had a 3.79 ERA in 21 games pitched. So not someone that I would necessarily just kind of look over. I know he is surrounded by very big star power in Sandy Alcantara, Christian Javier, Johnny Cueto, but don't look over him as well. I do want to say their bullpen, yeah. So Brian Abreu, Astros reliever, lights out. Diego Castillo, Mariners reliever, very lights out. Camilo Doval, Giants closer. He will be closing games for this team, and he will be very dangerous.
Yep.
Luis Garcia, Yimi Garcia, Rafael Montero, Hector Neris, Cesar Valdez, just lights out guys in the bullpen. I think you can argue that there is a team that might have a better lineup than them, but this pitching staff is very dominant, and it is very dangerous, and I think they will prove that this year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They certainly won't be in fifth this year. That's what I'll tell you.
Yeah, they look solid, and they're going to go on a run.
Also, not to mention, on their bench, not just in their starting lineup, they do have Willy Adames, Ketel Marte, Gene Segura, Nelson Cruz, who...
Eloy.
Nelson Cruz was, I believe, this team's general manager. Eloy Jimenez, yeah, they have a lot of guys on their bench too, so it's not like they just kind of have no one on their bench. It's a star-studded team.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, do we want to get to the big boys? Team US of A. Wearing the jersey right now because I have to. I have to.
Of course, you have to.
Team USA. Should I rattle this off? Should I go?
Please do. Please do.
If I can find their lineup. Okay, so Team USA. First of all, prefaced by they are the defending champions. They won this whole thing in 2017. Yes, this is also their fifth year making it. This lineup: Trey Turner at shortstop, Mookie Betts at right field, Mike Trout in center field, Paul Goldschmidt at first base, Nolan Arenado at third base, the Cardinals corner infield, Kyle Tucker in left field, Pete Alonso DHing, JT Realmuto catching, and Jeff McNeil at second. What a lineup! That could be the All-Star Game lineup. That could very well be an All-Star Game lineup.
Oh, certainly. These guys all are, high end. I mean, the only one who I would say is not borderline a superstar is Jeff McNeil, and even then, he's extremely close to being one. It's just bizarre how good all these guys are. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch this lineup just absolutely dominate starting pitching.
Yeah, this lineup is going to bring them very high. Not to mention their bench. They have Will Smith, one of the best catchers in baseball. Kyle Gashioka, very good defensively catcher. Bobby Witt Jr., Tim Anderson, Cedric Mullins, Kyle Schwarber. It's it's just names upon names upon names that just these guys are going to hit against. No matter what pitcher you throw out there, they're going to hit the ball. Um,
Yeah, and
and
as
that's
go ahead.
yeah, go on. No, yeah, you got it. You got it. Come on, you got it. No, 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 no. You got it. They are going to hit against no matter what pitcher you throw out there.
Yeah, and as for their own pitching, having their rotation look like Adam Wainwright, Brady Singer, Miles Michaelis, right? Michaelis, is that how you say it?
Yeah. Yep.
Merrill Kelly, and then in their and don't forget they do also have Lance Lynn. As for their bullpen, Daniel Bard, David Bendar, Kyle Freeland, Kendall Graveman, Merrill Kelly, as I mentioned earlier, who I'm very excited to watch. Uh, Devin Williams, Ryan Presley, Adam Ottavino. I mean, this team is going to be something, and Brooks Raley. This team is going to be something. I genuinely think that this team is going to do great. All managed by Mark DeRosa. Their hitting coach, Ken Griffey Jr., will be a lot of fun. And their pitching coach, my personal all-time favorite pitcher, Andy Pettit, is going to be their pitching coach, which is electric. I'm just so excited to watch this team play.
Very fair. Um, like you said, even their coaching is star-studded. Their coaching is fantastic. I just like we said, names upon names upon names. It seems like every guy on this roster could be all stars. Um, their rotation, yes, isn't as strong as it could have been with the guys like Nestor Cortez or even like most aces in MLB could have probably played for Team USA
Mm.
if they really wanted to. But I still think, regardless, it's an amazing pitching staff. I think we will see that shine through in this tournament, in this World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, and
Uh,
hey, they're the defending champs for a reason. Go knock them dead.
yeah, I agree. So, do we want to get to what we think is going to happen in this tournament? Like our predictions of who we think is going to win.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do it.
So, the do you have all the pools up and everything?
I do have all the pools, however, I do not know how the bracket works entirely. So,
Yeah, no, I'll walk you through it. I'll help you out here. So, the way this works is we're gonna go from the left side of the bracket to the right side, and then the left side again, the right side again. So, the quarterfinals, uh, game one, which takes place in Tokyo, is the Pool B runner-up against the Pool A winner.
okay.
So the second in the Pool B versus the first in Pool A. I think this is going to be. It's tough, but I'm gonna go Netherlands as the Pool A winner, and Korea as the Pool B runner-up.
Okay. I am going to go Cuba as the Pool A winner and Korea as the runner up.
Okay, fair. Next up, it is game two, which also takes place in Tokyo. Um, it is the Pool A runner-up against the Pool B winner. I have that as Japan as the Pool B winner, and I have the Pool A runner-up being Italy.
Yep, that is also what I have.
So you don't have Netherlands making it.
I do not.
Interesting. Okay, I respect it. I suppose.
Mind you, these are
Um,
damn near completely blind.
I wouldn't say it's completely blind, but
it's
yeah, no, I
it's
get
it's
it.
a lot harder to tell you who's going to win these games than in baseball, than in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, that's fair. So the quarterfinal second round that takes place in Miami, Florida, which I'm very excited. I will hopefully be at least one of these games. Um, Pool C runner up against the Pool D winner. Um, for me, I'm gonna go Colombia against the Dominican Republic. Colombia against DR for that one. For the Pool C runner up would be Colombia, and the Pool D winner would be the DR.
Okay, so it's the Pool C runner-up and the Pool D winner, right?
Yeah,
Okay, so for that, I'm going to go Mexico against the Puerto Rico team.
Mexico against Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Okay. So you think Mexico's going to come second, and you think Puerto Rico's going to win that pool?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna go. Okay, rather the next one, Game Four, is the Pool D runner-up and the Pool C winner. I'm going Puerto Rico, USA. Puerto Rico as the runner-up, and USA as the winner. Yeah, I believe that leaves you with one option.
Yeah, I'm going with the USA to win and the Dominican Republic to be the runner-up.
Okay, perfect. So just name your top eight really quick.
I forgot my second team. I did not write it down, which was an
Oh, you did
accident.
not write it down.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but
Um,
do you remember it really quick off the top of your head? I was like Japan against.
I don't remember. I don't remember yours. I remember mine.
I think I had Japan against Italy.
I'd love to tell you. Mine was Netherlands, Korea, Italy, Japan, Colombia, DR, Puerto
Yeah,
Rico, and the U.S. Everyone else, I think, is going home, but it will be fun baseball for them while they are playing. But yeah, do you
yeah,
want to move on to our second round,
yeah.
our
Yeah.
semifinals?
Let's go ahead and do it.
So my first matchup was Netherlands against Korea, and I'm actually going to give it to Netherlands. I think Netherlands makes the quarterfinals again, or the semifinals again.
Okay, okay. My first matchup is Cuba versus Korea. I'm gonna go Cuba taking it.
Cuba taking it.
Yep.
Okay. Um, my second round would be Italy against Japan, and I'm going with Japan. So that sets up a quarterfinal matchup of Netherlands and Japan on my left side of the bracket.
I'm going the same way. I am also going to say that Japan wins this game probably handedly, depending on who's pitching. That is.
Okay, so who is your semifinals for
My
that side?
semifinals would be Cuba versus Japan.
Interesting. Okay, fair. Moving on to the other side. So I had Colombia and the Dominican Republic as one of the quarterfinals, and I'm gonna go with Dominican Republic over Colombia.
Okay. I have Mexico versus Puerto Rico as one of my quarterfinals, and I'm going to go with Puerto Rico taking the W there.
Okay. I have Puerto Rico, USA as one of my quarterfinals, and I am going to take USA over Puerto Rico to face Dominican Republic in the semis.
All right.
Um,
I am
yeah.
going to go. My final matchup in the quarterfinal is USA versus Dominican Republic. I am going USA to win.
Okay, fair. So now let's set up my semifinals. For one side of the semifinals, Netherlands, Japan. I'm going with Japan, quite obviously. Japan making the Japan and making the finals in my bracket feels like a given in this tournament. But you never know. But that's just based on strength of team. Yeah.
All right. I am also going to agree with you. My semifinal first matchup is Cuba versus Japan, and I am also going to say that Japan wins that game. So we both have Japan in the finals.
Yeah, and then on the other side, my semifinal would be Dominican Republic and USA. I'm gonna go with the USA. I think they just have just an edge. I think their pitching is really good, and I think their lineup overall is better than the Dominican Republic, depending on how you look at it. But yes, so that sets up for me, USA Japan final. What do you got with us?
This one's a very difficult one for me. Puerto Rico versus the United States of America, both teams that I feel are pretty loaded, and it almost comes down to a coin flip to me. However, I do think that in the end, the United States does have a better bullpen and better pitching rotation, so I am going to say the United States,
Okay.
which would actually set me up for the same finals as you. Japan versus the United States of America.
So Japan versus the USA. I am going to go with the USA. Yes, it might be a little biased, but to be honest, I do think they have arguably the best team in this tournament. So I'm going with the USA to win the whole damn thing and to win their second straight World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, and you're out of your mind if you think I'm going with anybody but the boys in red, white, and blue. Team USA all day, baby. You know, go get the dub, back to back. We've been back to back world champs. Let's be back to back world baseball champs.
Absolutely. So,
Amen.
Amen. Like we said, the World Baseball Classic started tonight with Nicaragua, Netherlands, Cuba. My bad.
Wait,
It's
wait. Can we both just say who we think would win if it were not the United States of America?
Mine wasn't biased.
No, I'm just saying if you who. Oh, so I guess you would go with Japan. I think it's going to be Puerto Rico, if not the United States of America.
Well, if not, then I guess I would have to go with Dominican Republic. I'd go with.
Okay, all right. We both have Japan getting knocked out one way or the other.
Yeah, I think it's going to be from the right side of the bracket. It's going to be one of either Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, or USA if I had to bet on it.
All right.
So that's just me.
Well, I like it.
Like I said, like I was trying to say, the World Baseball Classic got kicked off today. It's 1-1, Cuba versus Netherlands right now in the fourth inning. Like these pool games go to March 15th, and then the quarterfinals begin. And from there, we'll see who wins. And
Yeah.
I'm very excited for the rest of this tournament.
And hopefully we'll be at a game or two towards the end.
Yes. And if we are, you guys will see some content from that. So
For
be
sure.
prepared. And it is now currently 12:30 in the morning. So we are going to head out of here and go to sleep.
Amen. All
Thank you
right.
guys for watching. Let us know who you guys are rooting for in the comments. Let us know what team you want to win, what team you think is going to win. And yeah, thank you guys for liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, all that fun stuff. And yeah, we will see you guys in the next one. Peace. Did you end it?